In 1979, there's this guy named Stephen Pullen. He has spent his whole life training to go to the Air Force. Spent his whole life wanting to be a pilot. And at this point, if he's passed his qualifying exams, it's looking like his dream is going to come true. And he was pulled into an office and told the Air Force had tested his blood. He had the sickle cell trait, and they were dismissing him from the program. They said the pilot training happens at high altitudes where there's low oxygen, which might cause some of your blood to sickle, which might result in your death. 4 other Black men are dismissed at the same time. This policy had begun in 1972 when 2 Black Air Force trainees passed away. Both of them had viral infections and both of them had the sickle cell trait. So their deaths were attributed to them having a sickle cell trait. However, when their blood was looked at during the autopsy, there were no sickled cells found. In addition to that, neither of those cases or another case of an Air Force pilot trainee passing away back in 1970 had anything to do with flying. They weren't in the air. But at the time, the Air Force policy was better safe than sorry. If you got sickle cell trait, I'm sorry, you gotta go. And this is why representation matters, because Black doctors reached out to Dr. Vance Marchbanks. They felt that evidence was flimsy, which, I see their point. Dr. Vance Marchbanks had served as a Tuskegee Airman. They knew he knew a ton of Black airmen who had served back in World War II before the Army had been able to screen for their sickle cell trait. And because Dr. Marchbanks and these doctors are a part of the community that is being disproportionately impacted by this ban, they cared enough to look deeper. So Dr. Marchbanks went to all the Tuskegee Airmen he could find and took their blood and screened it for sickle cell trait. Ended up testing 154. There are 8% of Black Americans tend to have the sickle cell trait, so chances were good a few of them were going to have it. And 10 of them did. And those 10 Tuskegee Airmen that had sickle cell trait have flown over 500,000 hours without any adverse health effects. In fact, of all the Tuskegee Airmen, only one had ever lost consciousness while on a mission. And guess what? He didn't have the sickle cell trait. Dr. Marchbanks' work made the careers of many Black pilots possible. When I say representation matters, of course it matters because it gives us people to look up to, but it also matters because who is in the room making decisions, who is in the room choosing what to research, who is in the room cares enough to go deeper and ask questions matters. From Dr. Marchbanks' story, students learn the importance of representation. They learn the importance of questioning data and thinking through alternate explanations for data that are presented to them. If you want to share Dr. Vance Marchbanks' story with your students, you can grab the lesson I have on my site. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy Black History Month and stay curious, y'all.